These are the current top 10 prospects according to MLB Pipeline and MLB.com. Wander Franco's still there at 1. Lux, Robert, like, these are names that you're getting to know, right? Well, there's some new ones added because Jim Callis, Jonathan Mayo, and the crew at MLB Pipeline have updated their lists, and they're joining the rundown to talk about it. It's a prospect report. Fellas, great to be right in between you two. Torque Bomb, I see you dropped it one inside the top 10. How did this draft class, impact this updated list?
That was really the only changes we could make, Steve. And we talked about and we felt with the lack of activity, obviously no minor leagues, just a few weeks of spring training and a couple weeks of big league play, didn't make sense to kind of move guys around on small, not real efficient sample sizes. So it was really just the draft guys. We added 13 of them to the list. It was a good draft. That's kind of in line with what we do in a normal year. And as you mentioned, Spencer Torkelson, we got him, number 1 pick in the draft, highest bonus ever, maybe the best hitter in 20 years or so to come out of the draft. We stuffed him pretty high on the list.
Jonathan, which draft prospects were you highest on when putting this list together?
Well, I guess the easy answer would be Spencer Torkelson.
You can't say him.
Who we dropped in the top 10 that you mentioned already. I can't say him.
No.
Oh, man. Well, it is interesting to note that had this been a regular season, there's a good chance that several of the players above him would have graduated already, and so he could have debuted at number 3, which is about as high as we've gone with the draftee. But Austin Martin was the guy that we thought was number 2 on our draft list by and large, and is number 2 in terms of where the draftees are here, and he came in at number 20 on our top 100 overall, and he's the kind of guy that once he is able to get going, I think should be able to move pretty quickly. Both he and Torkelson are the kind of college performers who shouldn't take very long to move through a minor league system and be big league ready.
All right, going right back to you, Jonathan, because there are about 14 guys currently on this list who are on big league rosters playing in big league games. Maybe some have yet to debut. Luis Patino, talking to you. Who is going to be the next one to make an impact in the show?
You can sort of go in a couple ways. There are a couple of guys who I think are going to be there soon who I think a lot of us thought were going to be on big league rosters to start the year, Steve. And Brendan McKay, I think, only needs 2 innings or an inning and a third to graduate off of prospect lists. And obviously he got set back and wasn't ready to go. And Gavin Lux is another one, number 2 on our top 100, as a guy who I think should be up again at some point in time. A lot of people thought he was the front runner for National League Rookie of the Year, and he's in alternate camp right now, so we'll see what happens there. And I'm not going to talk about Mackenzie Gore. I'm going to let Jim do that.
Yeah, well, I mean, the 2 guys Jonathan mentioned have had a taste of the big leagues. I think 2 guys who haven't been up yet, who have a chance to make an impact. Obviously, everybody knows I love Mackenzie Gore, and I think we'll see him sooner rather than later, especially if the Padres continue to contend. He'd be a nice, boost to their back of their rotation. 4-pitch guy, stuff, control, deceptive delivery. He's got it all. And then another pitcher, Casey Mize, we bumped Casey Mize, who was the number 1 overall pick in the draft 2 years ago, down to number 2 on our Tigers list when Torkelson came in. But I think we have a chance to see Mize. The Tigers off to a decent start. Who knows if they're really going to be a playoff contender, but so far so good. And, there wasn't much left for Casey to prove in the minor leagues coming into the year. There are no minor leagues. So I wouldn't be surprised if we saw the Tigers let Casey, get his indoctrination to the big leagues at some point this season.
All right, Jim, I'm going to let you start with this one and then pass the baton to Jonathan Mayo, because when looking at prospect lists, they're naturally going to gravitate toward the top 10, top 25 or whatever. But are there any players maybe further down in the top 100 who you think fans should really be excited about and won't have to wait long to see?
Not so much not have to wait long to see, but I mean, 2 guys down the list who are pretty exciting to me are Marco Luciano with the Giants. He has yet to play full season ball, so we have to wait a couple years for him. And Jason Dominguez of the Yankees, who has yet to make his pro debut. And he's been only compared to, Mickey Mantle and Mike Trout and Bo Jackson. But, I mean, those guys are going to need some time, it's, I'm kind of dreaming, toward the top of the list. Maybe we see some more of those guys this year, but the coronavirus has obviously kind of thrown a monkey wrench into a lot of those things.
Steven, you want some more Mariners outfielders to be excited about? We've been seeing what Kyle Lewis has been doing. So obviously Jared Kelneck is very, very close, and there are a lot of people who think he may somehow mash his way up to the big leagues now. That's probably a next year kind of thing. A little bit further down, but not much, is Julio Rodriguez, who unfortunately suffered a small wrist fracture during summer camp when he's on the 60 man. He's not as far away as you would think, given how young he is. He more than held his own in the Arizona Fall League. He is a dynamic player, a ton of power, bat speed. He's going to hit for average. He's going to drive in runs, and he is a 1,000-watt personality. He's going to take Major League Baseball by storm. This will set him back. The injury will set him back a little bit. I still think that maybe tail end of 2021, he's going to be ready to hit the big leagues as one of the youngest guys there. Opening day 2022 at the very latest. You have an outfield of Kyle Lewis, Jared Kelneck, Julio Rodriguez. That's pretty exciting.
Yes, please. Yes, please. Listen, when you have Jonathan Mayo and Jim Callis together, I have so many more questions, but we don't have time. So if you have questions watching, find them on the old Twitter machine and bug them. But for now, we're going to say goodbye, and thanks, fellas. Good to see you.